Hello everyone. This is James Shore with another test-driven JavaScript video. I'm recording this on November 13th, 2012, picking up right where we left off in the last episode. And what we're doing here is we are getting our WeWikiPaint application set up so that we can draw lines programmatically and test that we're doing that. So right now our story is to just draw a predefined line and have that be tested. And that's what we're working on right now. We've got that working on just about every browser except for IE8. And we are testing the real drawing code. Now, we're not trying to make sure Raphael works. We assume that it works, but we do want to make sure that our code works cross-platform. So rather than mocking out or stubbing out Raphael, we are actually running Raphael and checking the DOM to see that our code has done what we think it ought to. So when we run this, it works on everything except for IE8. And that's what we need to get working next, is getting it working on IE8. Now, I do want to clean this up a little bit. We've got this IE9 path variable. I want to call it, I guess, IE9 path regex. And we'll call this IE9. Well, we'll keep that short because we've got this long string here. We'll just call it IE9. So now this will fail awkwardly if the format changes, but it will fail, and that's the important thing. Okay, so next what I want to do is look at how this works on IE8. I think the issue here is that IE8 doesn't actually use the same elements. It uses VML rather than SVG, so the nodes are going to be different. But if we pull up our page in IE8, well, it doesn't exist. You know what? I think what I need to do is run this in a different VM. I'm going to do that back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I've got this running in my WeWikiPaint integration VM, and you can see I've drawn a line here. And now what I want to do is pull up the developer tools and look at the actual DOM and see what's going on in there. So there's our drawing area. Okay. So the node, it's probably one of these. Is there a way? Let's go ahead and just debug this thing. Okay, so there's that. We'll go into there, go into there. Okay. So, you know, I don't want to waste your time, so I'm gonna go look into this a little bit more on my own and get back to you. Okay, I'm back. Wow. Yeah. That was insane. I don't know how long I spent on that. A couple of hours at least. And the end result turned out to be fairly simple, but the path to get there completely crazy. I started out by looking in the debugger and trying to figure out what was going on. And interestingly, there doesn't appear to be any attributes on the node that give us the path. So then I started dumping out the DOM and trying to figure out what was going on there. No luck. I was getting really concerned because it was looking like nothing was ever going to give me the actual DOM. And then, so, you know, can't give up, got to keep, the nature of programming is you just keep banging your head against the brick wall until it gives way or you die. And I was close to dying. So then I looked at the Raphael source code, and tried to figure out what was going on there, because I figured if it could manipulate this stuff programmatically, surely I could. And I saw a path parameter. So I went back to my DOM dumping code and I put in dump the path, and I accidentally put that line of code in the wrong spot, and it worked. Something came out. Something that never would have come out if I'd put it in the place I meant to. It turns out that on the node, on the VML node, there is a path object, but interestingly, it doesn't show up in the debugger. Isn't that crazy? I mean, just so it doesn't show up in the debugger. But if you look at element.node.path in the debugger, which I did end up doing eventually, you can see that it does in fact have all this stuff on it, including this value element, which gives us a path. So there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase all this crap. What we have here is fairly simple. We're in IE8, which uses the format. And then which format does it use? Well, this. And I've investigated this a little bit as well. And it turns out that if you divide 432000 by 21,600, you get the right answer. Yeah, 21,600. Of course. I mean, really, what else could it be? Oh my God. I just want to kill them. You know what? I'm sure this is documented somewhere, but I didn't find the documentation in my search. So anyway, let's put everything back the way it's supposed to be. And now that we've got this, we can clean it up. And actually, let's see. We do need to clean up path. So yeah, there we go. So we'll go ahead and pull that out the same way we did the IE9 stuff. Follow this, the IE8 path regex. It's going to be M, some number of digits with a comma, some number of digits with a space and an L, some number of digits, a comma, and then an E. Now, that may not be robust. That may break down, and that's okay. We'll find those problems as they come along. I don't worry so much about my test code being really robust, because it will fail if it's not robust enough, and then we fix it. So we're going to pass in the path here is element.node.path.value. Actually, let's just factor that out into a path variable and put that up there. And now that we have this, our start x is going to equal IE8 1. Our start y is IE8 2. Our end x is IE8 3. And our ny is IE8 4. But we're going to divide this by the VML magic number in each case, which is 21,600. Why? I don't know. Don't know. Okay, and then what do? We return m plus start x plus comma plus start y plus L plus end X plus comma plus end Y. And that, I'm hoping, will work. Except, right. Okay, there we go. It's complaining about Chrome, probably because in my testing I debugged it or something. There we go. All right. Hey, we got this working on IE8, which is damn near impossible. So let's go ahead and check this in. I'm not kidding about spending hours on that, by the way. I probably spent 2 or 3 hours trying to track that problem down. So if you ever use Raphael, you know how to deal with it. So yeah, let's see. We got Raphael testing, path testing on IE8. And there we go. Done. So now what? Well, let's clean this up a bit. Let's see. So if we're in VML, we're going to do one thing. Let's go ahead and factor this out and call this path for VML. Okay. So if we're in Raphael.vml, we will return path for VML. And that should work. Great. And if we are here, we will just let's see. And then we'll say if Raphael.svg, I guess we'll return path.svg. We'll just put all this in one method. Okay. Otherwise, we'll throw a new error. Unknown. Raphael could not. Unknown Raphael type. Okay, so that should work. It does. And I think that's clean enough for now. So, yeah, I think that brings us to the end of this task. Let's see, we've done that code, test driven, we've cleaned up path. We're going to come back and do this smoke test later. So that brings us to the end. I think we'll call this the end of the chapter. This has kind of been a short chapter, but next time we're going to start to get into the mouse manipulation stuff. So I just want to check, make sure everything's still looking pretty clean. Yep, I'd say it is. So let's go ahead and check this in. And yeah, I think we're good. You know, I'm going to do one thing though. Rather than calling this path for VML, I'll call it VML path for, or SVG path for. All right. So that is that. So next time we're going to work on mouse events. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will catch you next time.